Welcome to Beyond Profile. Today's April 17th, and the market's higher this morning after testing our key reference area we were looking for yesterday during the regular session. They finally went down and tested our 60s, and we're trading as high as 72s this morning. You can see the daily chart. We've got a 6-day balance area now building on this with the extreme down back at from last week's lows here. Yesterday was a down day. We opened and sold off, but new balance starting to build here. I have to see how big this area is. How long do we stay in it? We've got some key reference areas below us. 55s and naked. You got a gap fill down here at that 48 level, 47.50, and still looking at that to possibly being our target. You can see that the developing POC for the monthly is right here, 66, big number for us. So that's going to kind of be an anchor point here short term for the next few days to see how we trade around that area, whether it holds or we break and we go lower. Obviously a retest down in this area would put us into a much larger mature profile, even as low as 1330 area. In the charts, but again, I'm sure there's all eyes are focused in on this gap right here, and that would also put us very close to the prior area here too, where we're building this out in the profile. You can see that's a low volume pocket on that profile back from February, right in that same area, which is a gap fill here on the chart. So that's what we're going to be focusing in on to the downside. Is where I would look to, begin to take some shots on some longs from a swing perspective, back into the balance area. Our 30-minute chart still is imbalanced from overnight and from yesterday. You can see here's the probe. We were looking for that to happen yesterday during the regular session. We got relatively equal highs and relatively equal lows. This high here is not even reaching the highs from yesterday's highs. When we opened in the morning at 75, right into the Globex point of control, sold off all the way down into the 60s, and we never did make a new low because the lows were 60 and change, and we held inside of the IB yesterday. You can see though overnight, look at what we did. Just like I said, they were going to steal the trade from us on that trade because that was a nice setup. We were looking for that probe all day yesterday, and it never came. And of course, they got it in the overnight, probed it, and now it went back to the extreme of the other side of it. So you've got 60s to 74s area, balance area. It's about a 15-point balance area. Question is which direction do we go? When we break balance and when imbalance occurs, we trade it in that direction because you're going to get a vertical development into the opposite direction of the prior balance area. NASDAQ continues to be weak. That broke down hard yesterday, and again, still focusing in on the gap fill for the NASDAQ on the daily chart. Let me switch over to that real quick. Here's your NASDAQ chart. You can see the gap fill down here, 2645.50 technical gap. There's also a high volume down here at 2635. So this would be, you've got a minor balance. This is a P formation. I would expect, the markets as it comes into 2630s. As I told in the room, we would be looking at this as a swing long opportunity, especially if we can continue down into that area for the next day or so, and then options expiration being this Friday, that they run this market back higher. You can see the difference in the charts though. Look at where the high volume is for April in the NQ, 2733, 2740. The composite, if I do a composite of all this area, the 2711 area here is a very big number. That's basically where we ran up to yesterday morning. We sold off, boom, right straight through Friday's lows and last week's lows. So this got hit pretty hard yesterday, and even this morning it's still weak. It's still in a stage 3 on the 30-minute, 60-minute time frame overnight. So looking at, like I said yesterday, more continuation lower for that market. And even possibly the S&P, because it is still stage 3 overnight. Nothing's changed really. All we've done is we've tested the lows from the Globex session from Sunday night, and we've tried to go back higher now. So maybe we're rotational. If we can't go higher, if we probe over those areas, there's no follow through. Definitely going to be looking at new lows, at least back to 55, and then some on the maybe even to that 48 number on the ES. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. Still rotational, balanced trades overnight, and whichever spot we go imbalanced state is the place that we'll play it from, and looking for continuation in that direction. All right, folks, have a good trading day. We'll see you in the room.